Hello, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a VR to the lovely Jonathan Dailey. He did a live yesterday where he showed the last 10 decks to enter his collection and asked and invited the community if we'd like to maybe join in with this. And I thought, why not? I think I've got the last 10 decks here in order, and I'm going to start with this one, and this would have been the first one to come into my collection, if you like. So I'm going to go from latest to newest. And I think I've got them all in the right kind of context. I have missed out, just so we're aware, the tarot collection that I collect. I've missed out 2 decks from there because they come monthly regardless, and I just thought it'd be nicer to show the random decks because you've seen the other decks, you see them when I do my videos, so I thought we'd do it this way. So, first up is the Triumph's Pit Parade. This is available on Etsy. I have talked about this I have gone on about my love for this deck in a number of videos. It is Thoth based. I forget the name of the artist that it's currently running under just because I interact with the person in different places and then I have different names, so I'm never sure which name I'm giving out and which one's okay to say. So just let's have a look. It's a lovely deck. It's poker size, I think is what you all refer to this size, so it fits in the hand, so it's easy to hold. It is a pip deck, hence the name Pit Parade. It comes with cards so you can follow what's going on. So there's lots of cards in the deck. It tells you about your majors. It's just beautiful art. So you've got those if you need them in the deck. And you've got your key card there. So just, where are we? The Triumph's Tarot Expanded with the Pips Parade is a full deck of 81 cards featuring 22 trumps, 56 minors, a chaos or wild card, and 2 jokers, using the system of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and Thelema. This deck corresponds with the colour scale of the Kabbalah and the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. This expansion can be used esoterically for gameplay. The deck features the court cards posing as chess pieces like Queen, Knight and Pawn, has French-styled suits, clubs, hearts, spades and diamonds, and artistically incorporates the Italian suits, wands, cups, swords and queens in its iconography. This encourages game players or card readers to use this deck whether for cartomancy or recreationally for trick games, poker, blackjack or whatever you choose. And that's very true. So original paintings illustrated by Scott Toxic under the direction of Barak Gazem Ali. So Gazem Ali is the person that I think the deck comes from on Etsy. But if you just type in Triumph's Pip Parade, it usually comes up quite easily to find. And there are 3 different types of this deck. I have this one, and it came with a little tiny miniature Majors deck, which I didn't bring out. And so I have those 2, and then there's a bigger version of this. And I must admit, actually, the art in this is so spectacular that the bigger version would have worked quite nicely as a swap out for art styles to put on the side of the, just on your side or in picture frame or something. You can swap in and out as you get bored. So we have our jokers, and then it's really just gorgeous. The pips, so you can, as it states quite clearly, and with the pips you can see, so in there, so there is cups within the hearts, so you know then that you're in the water suit, plus the fact that you've got the colour correspondence, you've got the blue, you've also got that kind of pinky there to indicate hearts, love, and then your clubs, and in the clubs there are wands just within. So you could separate out all the pips and you could easily play a game of snap, patience, whatever you want to play, and be quite innocent in what's going on. And then when you want to mix in your majors, you've got them there for your other readings. But you can see now what I mean. So this artwork is actually so bright, vibrant and just gorgeous that you could look into it for days. That it would make really nice kind of like poster pictures to you know, change up every so often on the side, bring a bit of colour to the sides. So I might still get the bigger version. I'm in the UK, so I did have to contact through Etsy about getting this one sent to me, just because of how Etsy was working on postage, so it's a bit difficult to get it into the UK. So, but contacting the creator wasn't an issue, and then very kindly sent that across to me. So yeah, I love this deck. It's probably not what the creator was aiming for, but this deck to me is like these cards in particular remind me of Love Heart Sweets, you know, the little like refreshers that used to come in a packet and then there'd be little messages on them. This is what this reminds me of. It totally, I just get refreshers, love hearts from this. Even though, you know, the cards, as we know, we're going to deliver quite a message. But I just think it's, yeah, colourful, vibrant, right up my alley. And I know I don't know a lot about the Hermetic, the Golden Dawn, and the Kabbalah tarot systems in this, but that doesn't stop me from using it. I have the other cards if I want to check if I'm correct about something. But as a general, I find this to be just lovely to lay out and play with. So this is out of the decks I'm showing today, this is probably my top tarot deck out of the ones I'm going to show you, and that's probably why I'm spending so long with it. So it is a little bit controversial with some of the art, but you know, when isn't art controversial? But I find it humorous. So yeah, so that is the Tarot Pips Parade. That starts off my last 10 decks into my collection as the latest, or the one that's been in my collection the longest. So we'll call that number 10. So number 9, the Spectrowhirl. I don't know what order I purchased a lot of these in, to be honest. I'm not sure quite, you know, because things take a while to come in. So these are just the order in which I have been playing with them. So I have the Spectrowhirl, so there's the card there for Etsy shop, Spectrowhirl. Version 1 is available on the shop as well as version 2. I have version 2 because version 2 comes with a little guidebook. So I just thought I'd like the little guidebook in case there's anything else I want to know about the cards, because they're so bright and vivid. Who is the creator of this? I don't actually know the name of the creator, if I'm being honest. Benjamin Allen Simon is the creator, artist and writer of this deck. It does say it quite clearly there, doesn't it? And even better there. Let's flip the box around. So here's the backs on these. Again, it's a smaller deck, sort of bigger than poker size. So it's a bit bigger than the first deck. And again, it's kind of pips, for those who don't like pips, sorry. But just really gorgeous. I mean, there are things that are obvious in there. So that's an obvious 3 of coins to me. It's got a very obvious part of the depiction of what people might call the standard RWS. The 2 of coins, those are becoming quite familiar, I think, in recognition. But yeah, I can see 8 of Wands, why people might not like them quite so much. I love the fact that you've got your chakras down there on the 8 of coins. And the differences between the first and second versions are that the creator changed a few of the cards. So I don't know how many. They are all on like the website and the deck. On the Etsy shop, I think there's a story showing you what ones have been changed. But I just think they're really lovely. There's Lovers. That's definitely one that's been changed. And I think the Moon was the other one that was a very definite change. But I think this is such a gorgeous deck. I haven't really worked with it, I'll be honest. I spend more time looking at these, but then I don't think that's a bad thing, because these will call to me when they're ready to work with. I don't have to use everything as soon as it comes into my collection, so some things will go. I kind of collect things ready for when I need them. I've always done that. That is the Spectrowhirl, and if you want to see a discussion about this deck, you can head on over to Tarot Stash. Check through his videos. I think he did a live about this one. Well, I know he did a live about this one. I know he did, because that's where I saw this one for the final purchase. I have Tarot de Luz. This is by Fornier. Sorry if you can hear my dogs. She's very thirsty. So it's a Fornier deck. And these are slightly smaller than normal tarot size decks, but this is another one. I have had this in one of my video walkthroughs, so I have already doctored the little white book, taken out the other pages, put it back together again, and made it into a book that fits in the box. These are watercoloured. It's another really nice deck. So it has the like Kabbalah, the Hebrew letters, it's got the planetary symbols in there. So there's lots of stuff that this can be used in with. And we've got the elemental symbols in there as well, which I quite like. And just from a watercolour perspective, the art is very different. But I do like this one. I think it took me a while to buy this because I knew that I wanted, and I've talked about this at length before, I really wanted the Ember and Aura deck. The not the first edition, the second edition, where the card images had been made bigger and there was no borders. It was that one that I was after. But, you know, it just went out of print, and then the prices kind of went up and up and up, and then to get it shipped across made it unreasonable. So I decided that this was the other deck that I was looking at, and I never bought it because I liked the other one so much. And I thought, well, actually, this is proof that there's always another deck that will replace one that you think you've missed out on, or that, you know, you're kind of yearning for. Now, that's not always going to be the case, but actually I think this is, to me, this one's just proved that there'll be another deck along at some point that looks just like the one that you thought you really needed and you couldn't live without, and actually it turns out you could live without because you survived. So yeah, I really like this one, and it's a mass market deck as well, so it was quite reasonably priced. So my first two came from Etsy. That one's a mass market. I can't remember if I got it from a bookshop like World of Books or Book Depository, or it might have been available through Fornier on Amazon. I can't quite remember. Waddingtons. I have a set of playing cards. They're all in order. I haven't used them. They're the red-backed ones. You could have got red or blue. These are in here because I have a project planned. Whether I'll do the project or not is another matter, but I got them just in case I wanted to do the project. Yes, I have other playing cards in my house, but I wanted a brand new set for what I thought I was going to be doing. But so far I haven't had a chance to get there. But these are here. They were like £2.99 from Amazon, of course, because I couldn't get anywhere else to get them. So they are the sixth in my collection. Now I'm moving into this book. As some of you know, I've done a few videos about this, and this is now the influence to a lot of the decks that you're going to see coming through. Starting with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. Specifically, really, because everyone else talked about it and said how it's going to be useful. So I got it because Caroline writes amazing books from what I've worked out. So I have that because the book is here, and the deck because they're elements, and it does have the planetary symbols and things in there. And I'm using this to do my deacon walk, so it remains in order just so I can find the cards and know what I'm looking for. But it's just such beautiful artwork. I mean, these are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I was really torn. Do I keep the deck in order, or do I shuffle it up and just use it as an oracle? Because it's got some great keywords on the bottom as well. And I've decided to keep it in order for as long as I can manage. So we shall see how long that is. But that is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And again, they are a bit bigger than standard playing card size. Just a bit bigger, so not too big. So a nice size to handle. Like, this is perfect size for my hands, I think. I like that. So that is this one. I don't know who, it's Red Feather, I do know. Red Feather published this one. So that is number 5, 6. Oh my god, I'm already out. I already can't count. Okay, so we'll put that on there. 6. Oh shoot, ignore me. And then this is a gift, and this is a gift from my sister-in-law, because she knows that I collect decks, and she had this one given to her by her dad, and she said it just didn't work for her, so she asked would I like to take a look at it. I've taken out the insert. I have done a walkthrough of this one. It is a bit battered, but this is a first edition of this deck, and it's still in print, because I was considering buying the newer version, so this was amazing that it came to me. So I love the fact that it comes with this little hardback book that reminds me of the Peter and Jane series that we used to read as children. Somebody has loved this deck. It was a gift to somebody, clearly on their 16th birthday in 1989. And it's been loved and well cherished and also looked after. So it is dirty on the edges. It is that really old-fashioned cardboard. Like, there's nothing fancy about this deck. It's just paper card. And there's my Top Gun, as I call it, symbol on the back. That's not what it is at all. And these have, again, I've not studied it, but I'm using this with my Deacon walks. I'm just popping them out so I get to see the images and get used to them. So we have our elements at the bottom. We have planetary symbols. We have glyphs. Am I doing it the right way around, wrong way around? These might be my glyphs. We have our planets, and they link to different things. And we have keywords as well, sorry. So you have keywords. So this is the 2 of Wands, that's the 3 of Wands. They're on top because we've just used them. Then we have sayings on the side. So for the Hanged Man, we have this keyword here of sacrifice. I am the knowledge of my inquiry, is what the Hanged Man is telling us. And then for justice or law system, we're saying, I am the one who is called justice, and I am gross iniquity. We have, I believe, the court cards are, gods, goddesses, Son of Water. Might not be, I might be wrong. Let's just have a quick look. So a young man embraces a beautiful woman. They look straight into each other's eyes above a waxing crescent moon. Below the moon, a symbol of love. La 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 la. Attractive personality, lover. Aborigine, the sun in autumn. No, okay. I'm wrong, so ignore that. I'm not sure where I got that from, but I thought somewhere in this deck. Maybe it's the other deck. Okay, so that one is the Elemental Tarot. Box. So the number 4 as we're coming down. So that was number 5. This would be 4. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're nearly there. Is this. So my sister-in-law again was gifted the Elemental Tarot from her dad, and then when she left it there for me to come pick up, her dad gifted me this one. So this is his tarot deck, or one of his tarot decks that he's used. It's really big, long. I mean, it's huge. This box set is huge, and it's because of the book. So this is how things used to be packaged years ago. And the book to this I found quite fascinating. I'll just bring you out a tiny bit. So the Illustrated Book of Tarot, Discover the Mysteries. Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, step-by-step guide to reading. Not really a lot of information about the who's on here, is there? Illustration credits. Open place for notes, spreads. Interestingly, it has some colour pictures inside. And these are things you don't see in books today, aren't they? You don't see this level of information in books today. And considering this is like a beginner's, and it is a Marseille deck, of course. But it tells us about the cards here, some more historical pictures and references with the world. But yeah, it gives us a lot of information to each card. By Jane Lyle, there we go, and it's Bounty Books production. So, yeah, I remember him having this deck many years ago. So I think he had a version of this, and then this must be an up-to-date version of it. So, published in 1990 originally. This one would have been the 2004. No. This edition published in 2003. So this is a 2003 updated edition, and it's been reprinted again as well for 2004, 2005. So I'm guessing this must be a 2005 print of the 2003 edition. Oh, that was confusing. But what I like about this are the backs. I think the backs are just stunning. How do I get them out? So again, this is that weird paper, just paper card. It doesn't feel like it's anything fancy. It does feel like it'll bend and chip, break quite easily. I don't think, no, yeah, so I've put this in order so that I can do a walkthrough. So this, I don't know what kind of style Marseille you call this, but it's pretty standard. These aren't images that I haven't seen before. The backs are, though. I've never seen those backs. So at some point I might well get the walkthrough up, unless I've already done the walkthrough. I can't actually remember, you know. So that is a beginner's deck that I have that's been gifted back to me. I'm sure he got these out years ago when I first met them, him and his wife back then, and asked me, do I want a tarot reading? I believe he was the Marseille and his wife was the RWS, because she gifted me an RWS deck. In fact, it was, yeah, so this is the husband to the woman that first gave me a deck back in 1994. Okay, number 3 out of my collection is the Moon Oracle by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. Are you noticing a trend here? Again, another amazing book. It's got all these moon phases in here as well to help you plan how you do your spreads for this. I used this the other day for the first time to do a spread. This definitely has gods in it, so that might be why I was getting myself confused with the other deck. So it's the same lady that did the or same people that did the Elemental Tarot and the Radiant Sun Oracle. And what you do is you work out where the moon is through the charts at the back, and then you select your moon cards depending on that phase in the back here, and it goes all the way up to, I think I said 2032. So you've got up to 2032 moon tables in here to select the correct card. And then I guess at that point I'll need either a new chart or a new deck. But this is really good. And again, this one I got it thinking I'd use it to flip through the deacons. But actually I think this might just become like a moon deck that I use. And it is just stunning artwork again. So the deck is set up into, as I've already kind of intimated now, so we have mansions. I think these are the mansions that I'm looking at. So you have your mansions. Then you've got your, we're going to call these the goddesses. Let me just check, see what the book calls them. The moon goddesses, the moon mansions, and the moon phases. Yeah, so the moon goddesses. I mean, look at them. So you've got your symbols, you've got your astrological symbols in there, so you can see now why I was thinking I'd use it for the Deacon's Wheel. And of course you can pop them out. So we're in Venus, so I could have popped Venus out, because Venus is in Aries at the moment. And then here we have our moon phases, and they are in elements. So we have different elements, earth, water, fire, air. I don't think there's any extra elements to this. I think it's just a 4. And then each set has the same. They have a card for each moon phase, and that's when you go to the back of the book and you get your moon phase. So you get your card corresponding to the current moon phase and you put it out. And there is a spread for doing that in there, which I actually did at the weekend. And it was quite interesting to see. So it kind of told me, like, so put the moon phase out, and then, you ask a question and you put another moon phase out, and it tells you where within your moon phase your question is actually sitting and what's going on. So we got the black moon. I'm not sure if this might be the one that we're coming up to now for the eclipse tonight, 5 a.m. tomorrow in UK. So this is the Moon Oracle. Those are the backs. It is glossy cardstock, but I wasn't really going to give reviews on that sort of thing for this. I was just showing the decks. Do I regret purchasing it? No, I don't. Is it going to take a bit of study? Yes, it is. Is that a theme going through with my decks? Absolutely. Okay, so the second to last one into my collection, Tower of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. And I bought the book. I bought the big book because I wasn't sure. There are 2 books. There's this one, which is called Books 1, 2 and 3. And then there was a book that goes with this, which was £20. And this one, I think, was £16. So I went with this because I thought this might do everything I needed it to do, basically. And it also includes the Kabbalah. It's massive. I mean, it's massive. And it does go through the cards, which is what I like. It also has the Deacon's Journey, the Deacon's Wheel. We've got the Tree of Life in here. So we do get to see things. So it links into everything that I'm doing at the moment, again, with that whole decanic journey as I'm walking through them all. Power of Cosmological Beings. 5 of Fire, the Struggle. So it does have the cards. It tells me the keywords. It gives me teachings, which is why I think this might be the only book that I need to go with this, because it's got more in-depth stuff that I wanted to know about anyway. So I think I've picked the right book. So that's the book that I have that goes with the deck. And here's the deck. And it does also come with a little white book. It's a US Games production. I will say that this box is very tight. So I'm going to have to get another box. It only just fits in there. And I can't put the tuck box back up and the bit in the bottom and blah, 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 blah. I will get a bag. It comes with 2 extra cards. So we have the... this one, well, your header card, and it also comes with a overlay card, which I don't have anything to. Oh, there you go. So it comes with that one. This is gorgeous artwork. It is, of course, semi-thoth based, if you like. It has its own set of keywords. It is elemental. So yeah, it does have its own system slightly. Really like it though. I used it at the weekend. Ginger, Fae, Tarot and Musings. Does lives every so often, and so I joined in with her live, and then you're encouraged to bring a deck with you, basically, so you can play along with what they're doing. And that was what I did, and that was where I got to use this one. So I used it for the first time on her live. And I really enjoyed the symbolism, because the way we were working with the deck on that particular live was not to use so much the keywords and the meaning of the cards, but to use the images. So we're doing like intuitive based readings, if you like, for want of a better word. Just like this one, Ace of Water, open channel, and the fact that we're using numbers, not the word ace. So we're starting at the 1, so we know it's a new, if you're into numerology. So this deck, I am really pleased I bought it. I kind of bought it with a FOMO moment. I had it on my list, don't get me wrong, this was on my list, and I wasn't going to buy it as quickly as I did, but it vanished offline, and I panicked, and I found it on World of Books, and I just bought it. And it since came out on others. And then last but not least, the latest one in, I have done a walkthrough on this one. Oh, let's zoom out a bit. I have definitely done a walkthrough on this one. I haven't played with it. I'm still waiting to spend time with this one. It only came in at the weekend. It is the Transparent Oracle by the rather wonderful Emily Carding. It's amazing. I really can't wait to give this my time and effort. Comes with this. I did iron it out for the sake of the flip through, but it does look, it creases quite nicely. I've kept it in order pretty much, but it's back to front now. So here we have, so you see there's images and you overlay them to create a mandala. There we go. So bring it back down. Let's get this somewhere where you can see it without interference. And what you do is you shuffle and you overlay a number of images. So these are the archetypes here, and they can overlay on top of each other. So if you've got one after the other, you can overlay them. And if I just take something from the bottom, so say card 1, and the idea is you lay 3 or more. So I reckon 5 is probably a great number to stick into this. And let's take another one. And I go with the numbers, so I lay the numbers on top of each other to create my mandalas. So you do that, and then you have an image in there, and then what you can do is you can scry that image. So you spend time scrying the image, and it's the concept. Okay, so the concept of this I think is absolutely fascinating, and that is why this is in my collection. And what I have noticed is that the decks I am putting in my collection are things that seem to have their own systems. So much like the Tower of the Spirit has its own system, so too does the Moon Oracle, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, the Elemental Tarot. They've kind of got their own thing going on. The Pips Parade, 75, 76. And this is a 76 card deck. There's a lot of cards in this deck, but it's absolutely fascinating. There is a transparent tarot. I would love to have that, but I don't know that I'm ready to study it yet. So I'll keep my eye on it. If it looks like it's going out of print, I will buy it and I will put it in my collection. So I've got it ready to go. But I think much with this one, the concept of layering over to create a story in the cards and then actually creating a card that doesn't exist. So you're creating your own card, your own story out of these decks. And I think that is just a really special thing to be able to do with your cards, and that is why it is in my collection. So yeah, do you have any of these, and what do you think of them? I know that this one I don't see it around a lot, but I do know, as I've mentioned, Jonathan Dailey and Sadhana. I think Gerald at Tarot Stash owned up to having this one last night on Jonathan's VR, or Jonathan's original video last night when he set this tag up. But yeah, those are the last 10 decks to have made it into my collection. What are the last 10 decks that you have purchased that have made it into your collection? And I'm wondering, any of these? So am I behind the times, with the times, on the times, missed the times? That's it for me, but please do join in, let's do the VR. This doesn't have to be, it's not so I have put anything I like down here. I don't care if it's in print, out of print. It's the last 10 decks into my collection. As you see, some are £2, some are more than that, and it's just nice to see what people have had come in, and the ones that have been gifted to me. I can't recreate those and give them to you and tell you where to get them, but you can go and look for them and find something when you're walking past charity shops or you're thrifting and see what's in there. Pop in and see what they got. And I wish you much love and light, and I will look forward to seeing all your videos based on this VR. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.